Good morning. In today's lecture, we'll discuss about the concept of orthogonality in a product space, and we also discuss about the orthogonal sequences and the orthonormal sequences in a product space. Also, we discuss about the direct sum in a product space. So, an element X of an inner product space is said to be orthogonal to an element Y belongs to be H if X inner product of X comma Y is equal to be a zero vector. So here we say that X and Y are orthogonal and we write X as orthogonal to Y. So now we discuss the orthogonal complement. So let Y be a closed subspace of X, then the orthogonal complement of a Y in X is a set of all the vectors orthogonal to Y and represented by the Y perpendicular. Let M be a non-empty subset of a Hilbert space H, and element X is said to be orthogonal to a set M if the inner product of X comma Y is equal to be 0 for all Y in M. And in a symbol we write X as perpendicular to M. Then the set of all the elements of a H which are orthogonal to M is called the orthogonal complement of a M and denoted by the M perpendicular. Similarly, we can interpret the other notations like M perpendicular, perpendicular, and so on. So two sets M1 and M2 are said to be orthogonal to each other, written as M1 is perpendicular to M2 whenever the inner product of X comma Y is equal to be 0, for X belongs to be M1 and Y belongs to be M2. So from this definition, it is very easy to be see that the orthogonal complement of a zero vector is equal to be the space, and the orthogonal complement of a space is equal to be a zero vector. If M is a subspace of a H, then intersection of the M and its orthogonal complement is a zero vector. So now first we discuss the Pythagorean theorem. So here if X and Y belongs to be H and X is perpendicular to Y, then the norm of X plus Y square is equal to be norm of X square plus norm of Y square. And norm of X minus Y square is equal to be norm of X square plus norm of Y square. It is being given that the X is perpendicular to Y, so we have an inner product of X comma Y is equal to be 0. So we consider the first part first, the norm of X plus Y square, and using up the definition of inner product, we have norm of X plus Y square is equal to be inner product of X plus Y comma X plus Y. And using up a property of inner product, this is equal to be inner product of X comma X plus inner product of X comma Y plus inner product of a Y comma X plus inner product of a Y comma Y. It is being given to us that the inner product of X comma Y is 0 because the X is perpendicular to Y. So why this part is 0 and this part is to be 0. So we get this plus this. So this is equal to be norm of a X square plus norm of a Y square. We get the result. Similarly, we have a norm of X minus Y square is equal to be written as the inner product of X minus Y into the X minus Y. And we can be open it out as again using up a definition of inner product space, and which is equal to be again these two parts which are proved. Hence the result. So let M be a subset of a Hilbert space H, then if M1 is a subset of a M2 is a subset of a H, then M1 perpendicular or the orthogonal complement of M1 is a superset of a orthogonal complement of M2. And in the second part we have a F is a subset of a orthogonal complement. And in third, orthogonal complement again is equal to be orthogonal complement of M. And the fourth part, if M is a subset of a H, then orthogonal complement of M is a closed subspace of H. Now we first of all discuss the first part. So let M1 is a subset of a M2 is a subset of a Hilbert space H, and X be any element belongs to be a orthogonal complement of a M2. And if we consider any element in y in M2, then because x is belongs to the orthogonal complement of M2, so inner product of x comma y is equal to be 0. And so we can also say that the y inner product of y comma x is equal to be 0 for all y belongs to be M2. So therefore inner product of y comma x is equal to be 0 for all y belongs to be M1 because M1 is subset of M2. So x belongs to be orthogonal complement of M1. Hence M1 orthogonal complement is a superset of a orthogonal complement of M2. Now we discuss the second part. So let x be a belongs to be a set M. Then for all y belongs to be orthogonal complement of M, we have inner product of y comma x is equal to 0. So x belongs to be orthogonal complement of M, orthogonal complement. Thus M is a subset of a M perpendicular. So now we have to prove up the third result, which is the 3 times orthogonal complement is equal to be orthogonal complement is there. So by the two, we have M is a subset of M perpendicular. So by one, orthogonal complements of these term is subset of orthogonal complement of AM. So again, by the two, orthogonal complement of AM is a subset of this, and which is subset of this part, and hence orthogonal complement of M perpendicular is equal to be a orthogonal complement of AM. So now we discuss the fourth part. If M is a subset of AH and M perpendicular is a closed subspace of A, then M orthogonal complement of M is a closed subspace of AH. So let X and Y belongs to be orthogonal complement of AM and alpha be any complex scalar. Therefore, X is perpendicular to BM, Y is perpendicular to BM, X minus Y is also perpendicular to BM, and alpha into X is perpendicular to BM. So X minus Y and alpha X belongs to be orthogonal complement of AM. So consequently, orthogonal complement is a linear subspace of AH. So let X be any element in orthogonal complement of AM. So there exists a sequence xk in M such that limit of that xk converges to be X with xk is perpendicular to BM. So by the continuity of the inner product, we see that the X is perpendicular to BM and hence M orthogonal complement of M is closed. So if M is a closed subspace of Hilbert space H, then M is equal to be orthogonal complement of M, orthogonal complement. So as M is a subset of orthogonal complement of M, whole orthogonal complement is equal to be this. So now we have to show that M is a superset of orthogonal complement of M, orthogonal complement. So let X belongs to be any element of this. So then X is equal to be Y plus Z, where Y belongs to be M, which is subset of a orthogonal complement of a M, orthogonal complement. Since M perpendicular is vector space, so Z is equal to be X minus Y belongs to be orthogonal complement of a M, or orthogonal complement. Then we can say that Z is perpendicular to be orthogonal complement of a M. But Z belongs to be orthogonal complement of a M. Hence, we can say that Z is equal to be 0, so that X is equal to be Y. That is, X belongs to be Y. And since X belongs to be, this is any arbitrary, so M is a superset of a orthogonal complement. And we get the result. So now we discuss about the denseness in this. So for any non-empty subset of a Hilbert space H, the span of a M is a dense in H if and if only orthogonal complement of a M is a zero vector. So let X belongs to be orthogonal complement of M and assume that V is in a span of M is dense in H. So by the definition of denseness, we have X belongs to be V bar is equal to BH. So there exists a sequence Xn belongs to be V such that Xn converges to be X. And since X belongs to be orthogonal complement of M and orthogonal complement of M is perpendicular to V, so we have a sequence Xn comma X is equal to be 0. So by using the continuity of the inner product, we have the inner product of Xn comma X converges to be X comma X, which is equal to be norm of X square. Now, as the inner product of Xn comma X is equal to be 0, so norm of X square is equal to be 0. So it means that X is equal to be 0. So since x belongs to be orthogonal complement of M is arbitrary, so we have orthogonal complement of M is equal to be zero vector. So conversely, suppose that the orthogonal complement of M is equal to be zero vector, and if x is perpendicular to be V, then x is perpendicular to be M. So x belongs to be orthogonal complement of M. So x is equal to be 0, and hence the orthogonal complement of V is equal to be 0 vector, and so the closure of V is equal to be H, and hence the result. So now we discuss about the orthonormal system. A non-empty set EI of a Hilbert space H is said to be orthonormal system if the inner product of EI J is equal to be 0 for I is not equal to J, for I is not equal to be J, and norm of EI is equal to be 1 for every I. That is for any vector of the system is non-zero unit vector in H. If the orthonormal system of H is countable, then we can enumerate its element in a sequence, and then we say that it is an orthonormal sequence. For example, in a Euclidean space of ARQ, say the three unit vectors are 1 0 0 0 1 0 and 0 0 1. These are representing as a E1, E2 and E3. And the traction of the three areas of rectangular coordinate system form an orthonormal set. So you can easily check it out that here the inner product of a E1 into E2 is equal to be 0. Similarly, E1, E3 is 0, E2, E3 is 0. But we take the norm of a E1 is equal to be 1, norm of a E2 is equal to be 1, and norm of a E3 is equal to be 1. And similarly, in a Rn or the Cn, the orthonormal set of vectors are of the type 0, 0, 0, and in the kth place we have 1, denoted by the ek, and clearly we have a norm of a ek is equal to be 1, and inner product of ei, ej is equal to be 0, for I is not equal to be j. And in the space of a L2, an orthonormal sequence En is delta and j, which has nth element is 1 and all the other elements are 0. So next example is based upon the space. Then let x be the inner product space of a real valued continuous functions on the interval 0 to 2 pi, with the inner product defined as integral 0 to 2 pi xt yt dt. So an orthogonal sequence in X is un, where unt is equal to be cos nt and n is equal to be 0, 1 and so on. And another orthogonal sequence in X is a vn, where vnt is equal to be sin nt. So now if we took the inner product of a and un, we get 0 to 2 pi cos mt cos nt dt. So after solving up this integral, we know that it is equal to be 0 when m is not equal to be n. And when m is equal to be n, we have pi. And when m and n is 0, this is 2 pi. So hence an orthonormal sequence is En, where E naught is equal to be 1 by under 2 pi, and En is equal to be unt over norm of a un, which is equal to be cos of a nt divided by under root of pi. Similarly, we can obtain the orthonormal sequence for the Vn, which is equal to be Vnt over norm of Vn, which is equal to be sine of a nt over under root of pi. So an orthonormal system in a Hilbert space is linearly independent. So let En be a orthonormal system in H, and for a finite subset E1, E2, so on En of the system, we have alpha 1, E1, so on alpha and En is equal to be a zero vector, where all these alpha is a scalar. Then for I is less than equal to be j less than equal to be n, we have zero vector is equal to be inner product of a zero vector into the ej is equal to be the inner product of a summation of these alpha I, ei into the ej, which is equal to be summation of alpha I into the inner product of ei, ej. And we know that this ei, ej is equal to be 0 if I is not equal to be j, and this is equal to be 1 if ei is equal to be, if I is equal to be j. We can say this is equal to be alpha j, ej, ej, which is this is equal to be 1, so this is equal to be alpha j. So alpha j is equal to be 0 vector. It means that each alpha is I is 0. This means that a system of a given equation is linearly independent. Hence, the system En is the linearly independent. So now our goal is a representation of a Hilbert space as a direct sum, which is a particularly simple and suitable because it makes use of orthogonality. So a vector space X is said to be a direct sum of two subspaces Y and Z of X, written as X is equal to be the direct sum of Y and Z if each X belongs to be X has a unique representation X is equal to be Y plus Z, where Y belongs to be a set Y and Z belongs to be a set Z. Then Z is called an algebraic complement of Y in X and vice versa. And Y and Z is called a complementary pair of subspaces in X. So from the elementary property of linear algebra, we have if X is equal to be Y plus Z, then X is equal to be the direct sum of a Y and Z. If and only if we have the intersection of a Y and Z is equal to be a zero vector. For example, if Y is equal to be a R real line is a subspace of a Euclidean plane R square. Clearly, Y has infinitely many algebraic complements in R square, each of which is a real line. But most convenient is a complement that is perpendicular. So we make use of this fact when we choose a Cartesian coordinate system. So here, if M and N are two closed subspaces of a Hilbert space H with M is perpendicular to be N, then M plus N is a closed in H. So now here it is given that H is a Hilbert space, so it is complete, and also it is being given that M and N are closed. So in a complete inner product space, the subspace is a closed and it is a complete. So we have M and N are complete. Since M is perpendicular to N, so the intersection of M and N is a zero vector. So H is a direct sum of M and N. So let Z belongs to be closure of M plus N. So there exists a sequence K such that we can say that Zk is equal to be M plus N and Gk converges to be Z. So let Zk is equal to be Xk plus Yk, where Xk belongs to be M and Yk belongs to be N. Hence, Xn minus Xm belongs to be M and Yn minus Ym belongs to be N. So the inner product of Xn minus Xm and Yn minus Ym is equal to be 0. So now if we took the Pythagorean theorem over here, the norm of Xn minus Xm plus no, Yn minus Ym square is equal to be norm of Xn minus Xm square plus norm of Yn minus Ym square. So here we have a norm of a Zn minus Zm square is equal to be this by using up a Pythagorean theorem. We have representation here because the Zn is equal to be Xn plus Yn. Now since we have given that this Zk converges to be Z, so we have a sequence Zk is a Cauchy sequence in H. So the norm of a Zn minus Zm converges to be 0 when n and m converges to be infinity. So it means that this xn minus xm converges to be 0 and yn minus ym converges to be 0. It means that the sequence xn and yn are Cauchy sequence in m and n respectively. And also it is given that the m and n are complete. So xn converges to be some element of m and yn converges to be some element of n. So say that xn converges to be x and yn converges to be y, belongs to be m and n respectively. So since Zn is equal to be xn plus yn, which converges to be x plus y belongs to be m plus n, so Z is equal to be x plus y belongs to be m plus n, and hence m plus n is a closed in H. So thank you.